Time can be a very big consideration that we need to make when it comes to both designing, developing and delivering our training. Now, whether there is a specification from the client themselves, perhaps they have a certain period in which they have to learn the training. It may be that there's only a certain amount of downtime that the students are allowed to have from work if you're delivering training to people that are in the workplace. It could also be things like, for some training, there are what are called nominal hours. So what this is often, it's a government set of guidelines as to roughly how much training or how many hours or days of training they recommend somebody should take in a particular topic in order to be deemed competent. Now, for instance, in some of the licensed training space, like if somebody wants to become a qualified licensed scaffolder, the actual construction industry itself will state that there are a number of hours worth of scaffolding training that somebody has to do before they're deemed competent, and that has to be evidenced by signed off and stamped logbooks that state the time that they've been working doing those kinds of tasks. Another time consideration maybe is not just obviously the face-to-face or online learning time that might be available to the student, but it also could be things like how much time you need to develop the training itself. How much content do you already have? How much has to be built from scratch? How much can be built by the team or yourself that you currently have available? And how much of that would need to be influenced or contributed to by technical or subject matter experts? Now, bearing in mind, if those kinds of people need to come on board, they can be very expensive, and they may need to fit in around a certain schedule of their own for other work commitments that they have. So think very carefully before you commit to being able to deliver a course to a customer or a client or a group of students, what times you have you need to actually get that course ready for that particular group of students, but also how long your students have to actually complete the program itself, so that you can design it in a way that it can be delivered in that time of availability. Also, all of those things combined are also going to tell you what methods of delivery, i.e. how you're actually going to teach the course and pass the information on to the students, that you're going to be using. Because obviously, face-to-face and group learning can be more time consuming than self-paced online learning, depending obviously on how it's delivered. How much detail you go into will also affect all of these different methods of training and delivery. So time and a whole bunch of ideas, concepts and considerations around time itself, really, really important for you to start planning out now before you start designing or even thinking about putting your content together.